Hey you guys, I thought I would just do this video very quickly just to show you how stinking easy meal prep can be. Maybe not meal prep, but meal planning. Meal planning. I fall into the small percentage of people that like to cook. I just really do. I think it's just so satisfying when my family sits down at the table and I put this whole beautiful meal out. I really get a lot of pleasure out of that. I know that I'm the minority. Most people don't love to cook, but I really love it. So I love to cook, but I hate it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm like, I gotta make dinner. What am I gonna make? And I absolutely hate trying to come up with a variety of meals every week. And I cook 5 to 6 times a week, but I hate the pressure of what are we gonna cook and what sounds good and what's healthy and all of that. It's overwhelming. And so I have tried over the last 16 years that Ryan and I have been married, different ways to do meal planning and prep and everything, and I have finally mastered it. I have done it, you guys. I have the solution. So, yeah. Are you ready? Are you sitting down for this mind-blowing thing? Okay, first off, you have to know that I really love a good calendar. I love planning things out. Anyone who knows me well knows that probably my biggest pet peeve in life is plans changing. I love a good plan. It's like a security blanket for me. It just makes me feel good. So when I tried this plan, which I actually got this idea from my sister, who she had been doing it for years, and I kind of just made it my own a little bit with her idea. But when she showed this to me, it spoke to me, and I was like, this is gonna work for me because I don't have to think about it in advance. I don't have to come up with like creative new ways to feed my family. These are meals that I know everybody likes and will eat, and it's easy. So I love a good Post-it note. This is the best plan ever. Okay, so initially you're gonna wanna come up with a lot of meals. Like sit down, just start brainstorming. What does your family like to eat? What things work for you? And just get small little Post-it notes and write them down. That's it. If you can only come up with 30, fine, start with 30. If you can come up with 100, great, you're super awesome. So I continually add Post-it notes as I think of other meals, or as my family's like, remember that meal we had like 10 years ago? And I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'll write it on a Post-it note. So really all I did was I put them on the calendar in the Post-it notes. But the thing that's beautiful about this, so we've got January, February, March, and April, okay? So the thing that's like amazing about this is Sunday night, I pull out my calendars, I take the week, like, so this is this week, I'll take this week, and then I just simply take those Post-it notes and I put them on the next week in April. I just do it. So we're constantly eating the same meals, but look, we're eating this meal in January. We won't eat it again until the second week of April. So I just rotate through it. But the great thing is after dinner, when my kids are like, we didn't really like that meal, guess what I do with a Post-it note? I take it off the calendar, I crumple it up, and I throw it in the garbage. And I'm like, hey, that meal, that sucked. We're not doing that again. We're done with that one. And like I said, if they're like, you know what, we haven't had fried rice in a really long time, I will say, you're right. It's not on one of my Post-it notes. I'll write it down, stick it on an available day, and then we eat it. And if it's good, it stays in the rotation. If it's bad, in the garbage it goes. And that way there's no planning. I literally just pulled my calendar out and I say, this week, this is what we're eating. Does it sound good? I don't really care. Are these meals that my kids will eat? Yes, they are. Because we've been doing this for a year. So I know these meals are ones that they're going to eat, and they're healthy, they're doable, they work with my schedule, they work with my planning, and they're always good. Tried and true. This is the easiest system ever. So if you guys are in a rut and you hate meal planning and you're frustrated with it, Post-it note meal planning. It will save you time, energy, money, frustration, all of it. Like, I promise, tried, true, works. It's so awesome. So, and I'm not getting paid for this. This is my own little thing here. I'm just telling you what has worked for me and for my family, and I love this. So the other thing is that I always do on Sunday afternoon, I do a grocery order with Walmart, and I go through and I look at what I'm doing. I order it. Monday morning, I pick it up, and I've got my groceries for the whole entire week. There's no 3 o'clock, what am I making? I just look at my calendar and I have it ready to go. It is, seriously, it's an insanity saver for me because I don't know what I would do without it. So, and I know for me, I am really organized, but even someone who's not very organized, this works really well because it keeps you on task. And I'll admit, there have been days, last week, in fact, I had something on the schedule for Wednesday. We decided to go skiing, and we got home at like 5. It might have even been 6. And I'm like, I don't even have time to cook. And so we went and got pizza. It was no big deal. Well, I just did Wednesday's meal on Saturday because I only plan meals Monday through Friday. And then Saturday we eat leftovers. And then Sunday my husband makes dinner. So you guys, get a system. Make it work. It's seriously awesome. So some of my kids' favorite meals. My kids are really, really adventurous eaters. I have never ever catered to my children since the time they were eating solid foods. They were eating curry and beef stroganoff and everything we were eating, they were eating. So my kids are really, really unique that way, that they're not like big on like chicken nuggets or mac and cheese or things like that. They'll eat them, but they have a little bit, they eat what I eat. But there are a few meals that my kids absolutely love. So like this week we're having personal pizzas, and I just buy the pita breads, and then they make their own pizzas, and we usually will do like pizza and a movie. My kids love personal pizza nights, and with that same thing, they love it when we do calzones, when I make the dough and we fill them, and I mean they're huge, the calzones. So those are like favorites. My kids love Mexican food. Anything Mexican, taquitos, tacos, taco salad, I don't know. Anything that's like Mexican food, fajitas. My kids love Mexican food. What other things? I usually do a few different breakfast nights. We'll do like German pancakes or French toast or regular pancakes or waffles, or we'll do omelets. And I have usually a breakfast night every other week, one time. And so like twice a month we're eating breakfast for dinner. Always a huge hit. My kids love it when we do breakfast. I don't know. They love what my kids don't like is soups. There's very few soups that my kids like. They like tomato soup, and that might be it. I've tried to do soups and they just don't love them. So those are always hit and miss. My kids also are not big on pasta. I have gotten rid of a lot of my pasta dishes. We do spaghetti. They just are not big pasta people. I'm not really sure why. So if you need any other ideas of meals, or if you're like in a rut, message me. I'll send you a list of meals that work for my family, that are easy and good. We do every night. I always either have a fruit and a vegetable, or sometimes both on the table, and everybody has to have something like a fruit, a vegetable. They all have to try it. So I'm an advocate for healthy eating. So anyway, I want to know if you guys try this, what your thoughts are, and I hope that you guys have as much success as I have, because it's the best meal planning I've ever come across and tried. And like I said, we've been doing it a year, and it has been the best. So good luck. I want to hear all about it. Let me know if you do it and any feedback you have.